What is going on, y'all? GeoFux here. And Pride is approaching us, y'all. I'm making this video May 21st. Pride is right around the corner. June represents Pride Month. And as Pride Month is preparing to start up, we got to talk about making sure that we control our dollar. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that you're spending your money with LGBTQ plus queer people, trans people, queer people, bi people, gay people, lesbian people, pansexual people, asexual people. You want to keep your money within the rainbow, okay? And I'm saying this because Target says Pride collection will appear in select stores, cuts LGBTQ plus apparel for kids. The retailer said it would be selling its Pride merchandise in select number of stores, and that apparel for the collection this year will be for adults only. Now, keep in mind, the same way there's cisgendered kids, there's trans kids. The same way there's heterosexual children, there are gay, bisexual, pansexual, lesbian, LGBTQ plus children. Okay, so it's really odd to me how they're always talking about don't force your sexuality on children, yet you're forcing heterosexuality on children every single day. I mean, what in the hell is Disney? Disney is literally teaching everyone that they're supposed to be heterosexual. They're supposed to fall in love with Prince Charming and get married and be happy ever after, and that is some cishet agenda shit. But okay. This was mentioned May 10th, 2024, so this is almost 2 weeks ago. Target will limit which stores sells LGBTQ plus theme products following last year's firestorm over its decision to sell products designed for transgender people. So I'm an intersex trans man. I am proudly intersex and proudly identify as an intersex trans man. So I'm not supposed to be able to buy items for myself at a store because there are people who are transphobic? How is that okay? But this is the world that we live in. The retailer said Thursday that it would be selling its Pride merchandise in select number of its nearly 2,000 stores and on its website this year, citing historical sales performances. Okay, this is another prime example of if money rules, then why are we allowing transphobic, homophobic, biphobic bigots to take away money from you? But that's exactly what Target is doing. It added, in addition to selling LGBTQ plus themed home and food and beverage items, apparel from its Pride collection this year will be tailored to adults. No Pride apparel for children will be sold. So kids who identify within the LGBTQ plus queer community, they can't be prideful about who they are, which is another reason why so many of us grew up in the closet, because we were not allowed to be who we were. And this also adds to a lot of mental health problems, a lot of relationship issues, low self-esteem, lacking a sense of self, suicidal ideation, and higher rates of suicide because you're literally being denied to be who you are because other people are uncomfortable with you existing as who you are. Okay. The latest decision, first reported by Bloomberg News, represents a change from offering the products in all Target stores as the company has done in previous years. Target is committed to supporting the LGBTQIA plus community during Pride Month and year-round. A spokesperson for the company said in an email on Friday, quote, most importantly, we want to create a welcoming and supportive environment for our LGBTQIA plus team members, which reflects our culture of care for over 400,000 plus people who work at Target. Remember, quote, we have long offered benefits and resources for the community, and we will have internal programs to celebrate Pride 2024, the spokesperson said. How are you committed to supporting the LGBTQIA plus community by taking away LGBTQ plus merchandise and only putting it in select stores, which, let's be honest, those select stores are probably going to be in major cities. And if you don't live in a major city, then guess what? You're not going to have access to that. You're going to have to go online. And if anybody knows anything about online shopping, it has it has its pros, but it also has its cons. And some of the cons, for example, is paying for shipping and handling when you could just go to the damn Target in your area and pick up the item and not have to pay an additional exorbitant fee for shipping and handling, processing fees, and all this other extra shit. On top of the fact that you have to wait for it to be mailed to you versus when you could just go to the store, get what you want, not pay all these extra fees, and pick it up right then and there. But, okay, again, we support you, but we really don't, because the transphobes and the homophobes and the biphobes and the bigots, they don't want us to support you guys this year, so we're not going to support you this year. That's basically the messaging that we're getting here. Okay, last year, Target was the focus of a social media-fueled boycott by some shoppers who disagreed with the retailer's decision to sell swimsuits for trans people. Holy shit, so as a trans person, I can't go swimming? I can't buy a fucking swimsuit because I'm trans? I mean, we can't go to the bathroom. We can't play sports. We can't get health care. We don't have rights here, but yet you want us to pay fucking taxes. And that's another thing. I just feel like as marginalized identities, we should stop paying taxes. Why should we pay taxes to a country that denies us of rights, of equal opportunities? We don't have the right to life and the pursuit of happiness as trans people. With many individuals falsely accusing the retailer of selling them to children. The retailer's pride-themed clothing for children included apparel with supportive slogans such as "Just Be You" and "Trans people will always exist." How is that bad? What's wrong with just being you? Cis people are allowed to just be them. Heterosexuals are allowed to just be them. Cishet people are allowed to just be them. They've always existed. So why is it a problem when queer folks want to do the same thing? When trans people want to do the same thing? Target has spent the better part of a decade publicly supporting the LGBTQ plus movement following a controversy involving its CEO donation in 2010 to a group that supported a gubernatorial candidate who opposed gay marriage. Remember that shit? And this is what I mean by these corporations are only here to get your money. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about you having access to freedoms, opportunities, decent paying jobs, careers, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They only care about your money. They will take your money and call you a tranny behind your back. They will take your money and call you a faggot behind your back. And it just needs to be said, okay? This is why I'm so big on controlling your dollar. Shop with locally owned and ran businesses, and shop with LGBTQ plus owned and operated and ran businesses. Shop with trans owned and operated and ran businesses, because then you know where your money is going. It's going to support an actual queer, trans, LGBTQ plus business. It's not going to a bigot who's using your identity to profit. Okay? But last year's backlash resulted in the company's pulling trans-oriented products from its shelves amid scenes of store employees being harassed by customers. Target was also falsely accused of selling satanic children clothes, further alienating some conservative shoppers. Some conservatives celebrated the company's announcement to dial back this year's collection. So it's okay for you to alienate trans people, alienate LGBTQ plus queer, gay, bi, lesbian people, because you want to keep the white cishet, typically the white cishet conservative community. Okay. Target won't be pumping every store with pride crap this year, and that's a win. Conservative media personality and political commentator Tommy Loren wrote on X, aka Twitter, on Friday. Why do we all need to celebrate who you sleep with? We didn't ask you to celebrate who we sleep with. Pride is actually for queer people. You, cis-hets, have the one who have decided to be a part and to include yourself in something that has nothing to do with you. I mean, hello, do you see me celebrating, case in point, do you see me celebrating the Confederate States? No, because it doesn't include me. So why the fuck would I want to be at a plate celebrate something that doesn't include me? But yet cishet people and the homophobes and the transphobes, they always like to interject themselves into things that have nothing to do with them. Keep that in mind. Target is far from the only company that has come under pressure to pare down its support for the LGBTQ plus community in recent years. Okay, in 2022, right, 2 years ago, Florida lawmakers passed legislation to strip Disney of control over Walt Disney World's self-governing district after the company voiced opposition to Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay law. Like I said, going back to the other video that I just uploaded about Amber Rose transphobic bitch ass, this is very similar. Again, they don't even want us to be able to say gay. They don't want us to be able to say trans. They don't want you to read books and get knowledge and information and hysterical empirical evidence and facts about gay, queer, LGBTQ plus trans people. All right? In response, Disney sued Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and his allies, arguing that the state violated the company's free speech rights. The two parties reached a settlement over the self-governing district earlier this year in 2024. Bud Light faced a social media firestorm last year after transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney appeared in an online ad for the company. Sales of the popular American beer brand dipped and calls for boycotts surged after the spot. So again, we don't even have opportunities to get branding deals. If they publicly come out supporting us, we are faced with hatred and bigotry and transphobia and homophobia and biphobia in the so-called land of the free, when it's really the land of the cishet white people with money. It just needs to be said. Actually, let me break it down. It's the land for the cishet white male with money who's also Christian Protestant, who's also able-bodied. And did I get you need to be cisgendered, heterosexual, white, and a cis male with money? Yeah, it's a lot of key things. Those are the only identities that truly get to have the land of the free. Okay? Because everybody else, we get the middle finger. Matter of fact, we get two of them. Okay? Anyways, several weeks ago, NBC News was first to report that Best Buy offered to screen LGBTQ plus nonprofit donations earlier this year following pressure from a conservative nonprofit. Nothing has changed in the ways we give to the LGBTQIA plus organizations, Carly Charlson, a spokesperson for Best Buy, said in a statement earlier this month. At Best Buy, we strongly believe in an inclusive work environment with a culture of belonging where everyone feels valued and has the opportunity to thrive. If that's the case, then why are you screening them? If that's the case, why does it matter that you have some conservative bigots who don't approve? You're not really creating an inclusive work environment if you're going to sit up here and allow bigots to determine what's considered inclusive. Target said in its statement Thursday that it will continue to support LGBTQ plus organizations, including the nation's largest LGBTQ plus advocacy group, the Human Rights Campaign, and to spotlight LGBTQ plus owned brands throughout the year. Right. Kelly Robinson, the Human Rights Campaign president, said in a statement on Friday that companies need to understand that community members and allies want businesses that express full-hearted support for the community. Target's decision is disappointing and alienates LGBTQ plus individuals and allies at risk of not only their bottom line, but also their values. So again, I'm going to continue to say, you do not need to be spending your money at places that don't want you to have rights. And there's so many of them. Some of you are still going to fucking Starbucks knowing that they are funding a genocide. Some of you are still going to McDonald's knowing that they are funding a genocide. Some of you will continue to shop at Target knowing how they actually feel about LGBTQ plus queer people. And I get, some of you are willingly going to Chick-fil-A and buying chicken sandwiches that you can get elsewhere or you can make yourself, knowing that they're funding anti-LGBTQ plus legislation, knowing that they support conversion therapy camps. So again, a lot of us, and I'm not perfect, so I'm including myself because I've done it too. A lot of us, including myself, we need to actually start being accountable to our own fucking values, our own core values and morals, our own communities, because we're literally supporting people who don't want us to have rights, who don't want us to exist. Information is in the description box below. We got to do better, y'all. Control your dollar. Shop with locally owned, ran, and operated businesses. Shop with LGBTQ plus businesses. Shop with transgender, trans, intersex, trans people, companies, and businesses. Control your dollar.